Welcome back to the NLX Island X Prix, where the stunning Italian island of Sardinia plays host to round 4 of Extreme E. As ever, it's about so much more than just racing though, with the championship taking its duty to the environment and ecology seriously at every stop.
As part of their commitment to leave a lasting legacy, Extreme E is partnering with the Med-Sea Foundation, a local non-profit organisation dedicated to protecting the ecosystem of the Mediterranean. In Sardinia, the project is focused on the seagrass meadows.
Seagrass is a plant very important for climate change, for protect our beaches, for the health of the Mediterranean Sea. It's estimated that the 30% of the Mediterranean seagrass, the meadows, are in regression. Posidonia oceanica is an endemic species of the Mediterranean Sea. We have a very strong conservation status, but in some places we have damage created by free anchoring or illegal trawling, also for climate change. Seagrass are very important for carbon absorption. It's like a terrestrial plant, and so they combat the climate change. So it's very important for life in the Mediterranean Sea because it's a house for many species of fishes. For the future, we hope to have a very strong message with Extreme E. It's very important for the sea life, but also for our life.
Seagrass accounts for 10% of the ocean's capacity to store carbon and can capture carbon from the atmosphere 35 times faster than the rainforests. To revitalise the seagrass meadows, Med-Sea are undertaking a replanting programme, identifying suitable areas and planting seagrass plants one by one.
So today we are here at the Legacy Project and we're learning about seagrass and healthy and damaged seagrass and what we can do to help it.
Well, this is the first time we come here and the first time I hear about the seagrass, and we're going to go out, see some damage, some healthy ones.
We are going to see the Posidonian snorkeling, so it's amazing exercise.
It's really cool to be a part of these legacy programs. We hear about them, but actually to be on the ground, I think is some of my favourite days when we're here racing with Extreme E.
It was really nice. I think we are here to race, of course, but it's nice to see the work, and it was to show people the problem we have.
To learn new things, to see what we could do for the environment, to make an awareness for it. It was very interesting.
To know that what Extreme E is doing is actually going to make a difference to these local charities and organisations is really important and really special.
If you look at who's starting in the car for semi-final 2, we have Kristoffersen left, Abt Cooper in the middle with Ekstrom, and then to the right it'll be Carlos Sainz. I mean, that is a lineup any motorsport category would be very keen to have.
Will this be carnage like semi-final 1 was or not? Seconds. We're about to find out.
15 seconds, eyes to the green light. Who does what? Let's find out. We're ready to go racing in the Island X Prix. And the green light goes. It's a nice clean start for Sainz. He goes off to the right, but on the other side, yes, you can see they're following each other down the left-hand lane, so no contact this time. RXR seem to be out in front, and then you've got Abt Cooper. Sainz seems to be bogged down to the right-hand side. There's a lot of dust, which is really difficult for the following car to see, so Ekstrom having a real battle to see what he can actually achieve, and by going out wide, Sainz seems to have done a really good job of avoiding all that dust, but it's RXR who lead the way, and Kristoffersen getting into the first merge point cleanly.
Well called, Jenny. The dust there was so bad for Abt, wasn't it? He was right on the tail of RXR as they went into that lane, but with the vision he had, Carlos Sainz has got the better of him. Sainz didn't go fully right, did he? Went down that kind of traditional middle line that we've spoken about. Ekstrom now will have better vision. The dust doesn't look so bad on this part of the course. There's a few more alternate lines. And yeah, we ride on board with Kristoffersen as he heads up towards the Continental Traction Challenge. Will he have a crack at that? Remember, 5 championship points, and at the minute it's their title rivals X44 who hold it.
Yeah, being out in front, Kristoffersen gives himself a bit of luxury. But look, Ekstrom using his hyperdrive right now. That gives you an extra 4-second power boost. So he's trying to claw back the gap, and I think he used it to overtake Sainz, and Sainz is slowing.
So Sainz has gone slowly at the back of the pack, so I don't know why, unless, he's holding on to steering's broken, so the steering is broken. Look at the angle he's having to hold it at. Carlos Sainz has a look of thunder on his face. He's not happy. So at Cooper at this point, Jenny, they would go through, really. So, I mean, that they could wind it back, but he won't want to. He's going to want to beat Kristoffersson. We're lucky to have Kyle Leduc on the other end of the line. Kyle is down in the paddock in Sardinia, having just one semi-final one. Kyle, how impressed are you with your competitors here? I mean, talk us through what you could see on track. Obviously, Sainz have got problems, but what you're seeing with RXR out front, Kristoffersson, you know, you're used to competing stateside. Now you're coming up against some of these drivers from Europe. Are there any surprises for you, or are you kind of aware of them already?
There is... None of these drivers are slow. So you always come in and wonder who the bangers are going to be and who's the guys to watch. And obviously the big name guys are out here. And, you know, for us and me and Sarah to put down laps competitive with these guys is super exciting to bring home and bring home to our programs and our families back home. But we just haven't had the success that we've all deserved. So this weekend is, we call it redemption time. So we're going to head down, chin down, full throttle, wide open, Chip Ganassi style.
Love it. Kristoffersson then into the switch zone. Carl, talk us through what happens in the switch zone if you can, because from your driver's point of view, it's always fascinating.
Yeah, it's tricky because you just got to turn everything that you're doing off. Patience, look at your buttons, make sure you're set. Remind yourself not to start unplugging, not to loosen belts. Obviously the switch, me and Sarah kind of have some audio contact back to back while we're going, just patience, time. No rushing is necessary, and you know, you want to get in and out of there as fast as you can, but the team's giving us such good tools to be able to watch that time, to be able to get in and out fast. And the driver that's getting in, as soon as you sit down, it's just that relief of fresh air. Just sit down. All right, I'm in my race car. I'm in my element. Make sure all my stuff is ready to come out, and you got to hit your points coming out because you've got pit lane limiter, you've got some launch control stuff you can play with. And then you've got to hit it right when you exit. So there's so many things to process while you're sitting here. Never mind the competition side of it. So you got a lot of work to do in these cars. It's definitely tricky doing a driver switch and getting yourself ready for lap number 2.
Carl, we'll come back to you in a minute. Thanks so much. So the switches have happened. Rosberg X Racing lead the way, then at Cooper, and obviously problems for Sainz Acciona Racing. Let's go down and find out exactly what's going on in the command center.
I'm in the switch zone with Johan Kristoffersson. Johan, you came off, you fist pumped everyone. You were really all smiles. That looked like a very good semi-final lap for you.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, my voice is not the best, but the driving was a bit better, so happy with that. But yeah, it was all down to the start. I don't know which line Carlos took, but I think Matthias took the same line as me. But then I saw Carlos was P2. Then I heard Carlos got a problem, and then obviously it's difficult to be behind in the visibility, so I heard they lost a little bit of time, so trying to be safe, but also some bumps are actually worse when you're driving slower, so it's very difficult.
Thank you.
When it comes to this battle, I just want to find out what you're thinking between Rosberg X Racing and X44. It's a pretty intense battle, isn't it? And they are quality drivers. What do you make of their chances now we're in the penultimate round?
Yeah, I'd like to think that they don't have a chance against us to win this main event, but at the same time...
Clearly, Kyle.
They're strong. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm confident in what we do and how we do it, absolutely. And I feel like we just got to put it all together. You know, today was a great leadway up to starting on the main event. So, yeah, it's good to watch Johan start because I'm going to be starting my main event. So it's good to watch these guys start and learn a little bit. I'm sitting here watching and learning, and that lap I got to do slow was a lot of watching and learning too. So ready more than ever to get to the main event.
Well, we saw your line off the start yesterday, Kyle, and we're really looking forward to what you do later on. Congratulations on making the final, and we wish you, Sarah, and the Chip Ganassi squad a great run later on today. Thanks for joining us, mate. Always appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks you too as well, for sure.
We're looking at Molly Taylor now, likely to come round and take victory, remember, in this semi-final and put them through to the final in much less dramatic style than their rivals X44. You know, how's that going to be psychologically later on today, do you think? RXR have just used the same line Kyle did. I love the fact that Kyle said you don't have to watch me that closely. It's like he's like, oh damn, they've spotted what we're up to. So there's definitely some alternate lines. I think the other thing is all of these teams are desperate just to get to the final. We've said this all weekend. This is the harshest course we've had. Get to the final and then just unleash it all. Just go for it. You know, look at last time in Greenland, and Kristoffersson, okay, retired after a massive jump, but we want to see them go for it, and that's what they're going to do come the final, Jenny. It's going to be absolutely flat out, fully lit. We've got, you know, the likes of Leduc and Price in there who don't have to think about the championship. The final is a mouth-watering proposition. It really is.
Molly Taylor just going down the incline section. That's where she rolled the car. If you haven't seen it already, you can check out the replays on the Extreme E website. But it was a pretty violent roll again. That's the second time she's done that, but coming in towards the final now.
Yep, so Taylor taking the wheel from Kristoffersen at the midway point. Championship fight was towards X44 very much this weekend. They still lead that 5-point battle for the Continental Traction Challenge, but a win in semi-final 2 with no issues for RXR, and they're back on track to try and keep that title lead intact. Brilliant drive. We have also had an official decision come through. Andretti United have been penalised for that contact in semi-final number 1. Jenny, what have you got?
Car number 23 will be classified in the last position of the semi-final 1.
There we go. So that puts Andretti United down to 3rd, and that means X44 will go through.
Results of semi-final 2 are in. Kristoffersen and Taylor with an 11.25. Then Ekstrom, Kleinschmidt and the Acciona Science team pulling that car through to the end. You have to feel for them, but they drop out of the running right now. Right, let's go down and hear from the Andretti United team and their team principal.
Roger, I wanted to speak to Timmy. He's obviously upset. Can I get your thoughts on being classified 3rd?
Yeah, I mean, obviously very disappointed in the way the outcome of the semi-final 1. I mean, you know, we went in there with a plan to get out in front. Timmy got a really good start, got a little bit ahead of Sarah, and unfortunately there was contact between the 2 cars. And then from that point on, Timmy was really just a passenger, and really unfortunate in the way that he ran into the back of Christina in an X44 car. I mean, no intention to hit her. You know, we spent a lot of time talking to the stewards. They listened to what Timmy had to say, but in the end they decided that, you know, we hit her from behind, and so, you know, it's hard to say that she was at fault during the course of the accident, and, you know, we have to accept that today is not our day. We're not going to repeat the win of Greenland, but, you know, we move on and fight for another day. And, you know, we're hopeful that the X44 guys can get their car put back together so they can take part. You know, it would be a shame that if they couldn't, so you know, anything we can do to help there, we'd be more than happy to. So, but, you know, very disappointed in the way it turned out.
15 seconds. Kevin Hansen is in the car for JBXE. For Veloce, it's Emma Gilmore. They're on the left-hand side of the grid. Ollie Bennett on the right-hand side for XR. Remember, only 1 car goes through. Only the winner will make the final. The start is even more crucial, and we've seen the carnage in the other semi-finals. Great reaction time. JBXE going to try and squeeze Emma Gilmore across. Kevin Hansen gets the whole shot on that side of the grid. Gilmore changes the line immediately. Doesn't want to get caught in the dust. She's gone after Bennett. She had great speed, but Bennett was just there before her. She's had to back off and slot in. Now watching Kevin Hansen over on the left-hand side of the grid. Can Bennett and Gilmore carry enough speed through here to beat him to the merge? Oh, it's going to be really close. Ollie Bennett may well get there just before Kevin Hansen. Oh, Kevin comes through, and Bennett took a different line. It was a really bumpy line. He almost made it. Gilmore coming up with a bit more speed in the background. That nearly worked. It nearly worked.
That was fascinating to see how that wanted to go with the lanes and the different choices. Gilmore reacting quickly. She had to, but ended up getting a little bit bogged down in it. This is going to be a great race, though. JBXE out in front. Then it's Excite Energy. Veloce can come back from this. They need to do the tight left and then get on it. Right, the fight is on. You can see JBXE out in the front, but behind them it's Veloce that are battling with Excite Energy. We can't see it right now, but I tell you what, it is close as close. They both released from the switch zone at the same time. Arlen Kotelinski got a nice lead out the front, but let's see what the others can do.
Look at Sarazan. Sarazan, we know, is a real chaser. He took that incredible line up in Greenland. He's right behind Christine GZ now. Her mirror look on the left-hand side of the car, flapping around, so she's not necessarily... Oh, so close to that rock, Jenny.
Yeah, we had a problem with that when I think it was Sarah Price, that she is going so hard, pushing all the time, but it doesn't look like she's 100% in control of that car at that moment. She's going to do the left. She is feeling Sarazan and the Veloce car all over her back, and Sarazan really trying to force her into a mistake. It's only a moment of time, I think. This must feel horrible for Christine GZ in that car.
Sarazan will take any opportunity he can to come past. He looks up the inside line into this long right-hander. Oh, just misses the flag.
This is high danger here. There are big ruts that have developed over this track. Oh no, what's happened? The steering's gone. It looks like the Excite Energy team are out of this. They've had a crash. So Veloce are through now. What disaster for Excite Energy. But look at this. What can they do now? Sarazan, full beans. He's on the hunt for JBXE.
They're halfway around the course, though. He's running out of time to do this. I'm gutted for Christine GZ. Oh! Sarazan's rolled! The Veloce machine's had a wheel off, it's on his roof. Game over for Veloce again. He had to risk it, but the car has been destroyed. They're parked at the side of the road. Drama in the crazy race. So he's coming through the traction challenge section. Oh, look at that! It's one of the biggest accidents of the season. That's a huge crash. He's okay, but the car is not.
And it's Arlen Kotelinski who crosses the line for JBXC. A dramatic race. It was crazy as they come, but look at the smile on her face. She is delighted. She's done the job. Kevin Hansen gave her a 22-second lead. They managed to convert that into the win. They wouldn't have wanted to win it that way, but you know what? They are through into the final, a 5-car final. And this Island X Prix just keeps on delivering surprises, drama, and excitement. 5 teams will line up in the final of the Island X Prix here in Sardinia. All the best of the action to come after the break.
Welcome back to round 4 of Extreme E from the Italian island of Sardinia, where the final of the Island X Prix awaits. This is the penultimate round of the championship with everything still to play for in the title fight, but only if X44 can get that car fixed in time for the final. They didn't have to do it all on their own either. Look at this, Andretti United sending staff over to help with the repairs as they promised they would. Timmy Hansen, so apologetic, said the steering was damaged from the initial impact with Sarah Price and he was just a passenger in the contact. But either way, the car is good to go. They will be in the final and the title fight is still on.
So, time for the final. From the left to right, as we're looking from behind the cars, it's Abt Cupra, Kleinschmidt, X44, Loeb, Chip Ganassi Racing with Carla Duke, Taylor in the RXR, leading the championship at the moment. And then to the right, as you're looking at it now, JBXC with Arlen Kotelinski. So, the rain comes down. We are ready for the Island X Prix in Sardinia. Lights gonna go out. You're watching for the green light and then 5 cars will go racing. So we are off. Oh, it's a stall start for the Abt Cupra team. They're going nowhere. X44 out to the left. Is there going to be contact? Yes, a bit of contact there before JBXC and RXR. But if you just look through, Leduc and Price have gone, and they have gone fast. A very different line. They need to cut back to the left to go through the waypoint. But at the moment, it looks like it is X44 leading the way. They're going to get the join in. Oh, look at that sliding through, and it's this Segi TV team. They have got the lead of this. Leduc out there. We know he's a Ram Raider. JBXC have had a spin there. Arlen Kotelinski is going to have to get going, and it looks like Kleinschmidt's managed to get going for the Abt Cupra team as well, but Leduc out in front.
How has he managed to pull that off on that line? Carl Leduc came in. We saw from the distance shot, he just got them at the merge. It was super close between them. So now we've got 2 of the fastest and most spectacular drivers out front. Carl Leduc told us earlier on when we were talking to him in commentary that he was going to go for the Continental Traction Challenge in the final. And Jenny, he's in the perfect position to do it. Get in there, send it, Kyle, come on.
Yeah, he really is. 5 points on offer for that. As they go through the first water jump, you'll see that's when the clock starts ticking. But I can tell you what, Sebastian Loeb is hunting him down. Remember, 2 laps around here. They do a driver switch in between. These are the guys that started. There's a puncture, front left puncture. I think there's a slow puncture on the car for Loeb.
I think you might. They don't have to. They could continue on it if they think they can continue on it for the entire run. Let's see how much time Loeb loses. Conditions have really changed. The rain was much heavier than we thought. Look, mud splashing up here. Leduc drops down now into the first of those water splashes. What line's he going to take, and is he going to use the hyperdrive here? Oh, they're going to have to change that surely, Jenny. It'll be off the rim if he's not careful.
He's just going to have to try and nurse it a little bit to get round, because at this stage you can't lose the car halfway round this track. But I tell you what, they are catching. Kleinschmidt doing really well to try and pull back some of that lead. X44 out in front. Look at Loeb go. Oh, sorry, in second. Look at him go, though, just trying to close down, but he's got that puncture. This is going to be really hard to navigate now.
Kleinschmidt's done well, hasn't she, to get right onto the back of Molly Taylor. Whether or not she can find a way through. There's Loeb's line. That, though, the bump which seemed flatter yesterday, that's the one which caught out earlier on Stefan Sarazan, that enormous crash. Oh, Loeb now, is he struggling? I think he's broken the steering. Loeb's steering is broken. X44 are out in the championship fight. The damage is done. The tyre was off the rim, and then the impacts are just too big. I saw him going straight on in the water splash, and they are out of the final. 4 top qualifiers and 4 no results.
I'm just trying to work out 2 cars going in 2 very different directions here. So have we got a very different route? There's Loeb, can't go anywhere. Kleinschmidt using hyperdrive. I'd love to see a longer shot so we can work out what's going on, but definitely a very different direction there for the other car catching on RXR.
I'm looking at how far up the road Kyle Leduc is. According to this, Taylor's 32 seconds back on the lead. If that's the case, that is an absolutely monstrous lead that Leduc has built up. Price is a class actor. I think if Leduc comes in with a lead like this, Jenny, it'll be tough to get back to them.
So this will be into the switch zone. It's wet down there. You've got to hit your braking point, otherwise you get penalised. That's what Leduc's done.
And hard work in these conditions. Remember, they've been able to brake super late and hard. We know it's cut up a little bit, but with there being a greasy surface now. I didn't hear what Leduc said. Just judging that braking zone is even more important. How close is Kleinschmidt and Abt Cooper to the back of Taylor and RXR? It's going to be a brilliant race between these two. It's going to be a race in the switch zone as well.
Considering that they stalled off the front, had a problem getting away, and they've made up so much time, they've done a great job. Right, they're already out of there. Carl Leduc, you can see, has handed over to Sarah Price. He's left his teammate to do the work out there and given her a healthy advantage. Healthy is the understatement of the year. I was just thinking as we saw Sarah pull out, I'm like, hang on a minute, the others haven't stopped. Timing screen is showing 45.6 back to RXR and 46.3 back to Abt Cooper. He's given them a lead. He's given Sarah Price a lead of more than the switch zone time limit. Brilliant drive by Carl Leduc, inspired. Sarah Price released now into the track. Oh, what can she do here? She's got an absolutely massively brilliant job by this man.
Kyle leading the race, phenomenal performance, treacherous conditions. Can Sarah keep up?
Yeah, I think so. I think I may have took a couple hits with the front of the truck that I probably shouldn't have, but really slippery. When you see this shiny part behind you, it is so slippery wet. But we had a great start, had a good turn into at the gate 2. Sebastian obviously had to lift for me a little bit there, but we got there first. So we were on the spot, and he was close. I saw him there a couple times in the window, and that's fun. That's what I live for, so that was amazing.
No! Broken steering! Segi TV, Chip Ganassi Racing. The steering is broken out in the course. Sarah Price has come to a halt while we were talking to Kyle Leduc. This is unbelievable. No!
Their bad luck continues. They've been beset with it. They had such a big lead, and this is heartbreak for that team once again. Oh, Chip Ganassi, we were watching on and just feeling that there is no luck left for them, and this leaves the way, doesn't it, for this battle now between RXR and the Abt Cooper team. They'll see the stricken car there on the right, the Segi TV car with its windscreen wipers going. RXR could have the potential now of going out there with Kristoffersen and trying to get 5 points from that Jackson Challenge section as well.
Jenny, they've lost a door. Abt Cooper have lost the door. There's tape at the top which suggests it was only held on. Look at that, the door is completely gone from the side of the Abt Cooper machine. I'm gutted for Segi TV. They do not deserve that. Chip Ganassi Racing, they deserve the win here. Ekstrom slowly through the water again. How did they lose a door? Well, I mean, it was there when they stalled at the start. I mean, they say they stalled at the start. We don't know if maybe maybe the car wasn't in drive when they left the line. Look at this, incredible pictures.
It's very careless to lose a door off a car. That's all I'm going to say. What happened? Oh no, JBXC as well. They're having problems as well for Kevin Hansen. Oh dear, this is a very aggressive track. We've seen that all weekend. The cars are struggling, the drivers are struggling. Ekstrom's struggling out there. It looks like the car's getting bogged down, but look at this, our championship leaders making it look almost effortless. Kristoffersen's such a master. You know him well, Andrew. You know he's got all the skills for this championship and more.
There will have been tactics through the course of the weekend for them to try to get themselves in this position now. As you see Ekstrom using the hyperdrive with the door off, it's like an episode of Mad Max. It's just absolutely insane. Super careful drive on the run down the hill. He used the hyperdrive on the run up to it. They came here, of course, as championship leaders, had that absolute disaster in Q1 when Molly rolled the car and they thought, no, what's in store this weekend? X44 took the top qualifier. They're probably going to take those 5 bonus points, but they're not going to take the victory. RXR have done it when it counts. Christopherson and Taylor take their 3rd win of the year and with it a commanding lead in this Extreme E Championship. Fist pump from Christopherson, job done in the hardest of conditions right at the end of the weekend, and a brilliant, brilliant performance by the whole team. Look what it means to them.
I'm with the Island X Prix winners. It is Molly and Johan. Molly, fantastic performance.
Yeah, I was really, really tricky out there and really tricky all weekend. So we're just very, very happy to be here and be in P1. It's amazing.
Johan, you pushed until the very last minute and you've done it. Congratulations, another win.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, Molly did a very good job and then, yeah, took the car for the switch. And then, yeah, there was some cars having problems. So just when I heard Stefan had the problem, I just slowed down and tried to be safe. And I heard Sarah had the problem as well. So obviously I would like to push for the Super Sector as apparently that's the main championship. But yeah, it was not possible in the wet. So, but yeah, we'll try harder next time.
And look what it's done for the championship. Out ahead, it's RXR on 129 points. It's 113 points for X44. And then Andretti United on 93. Just 1 point separate them from JBXE.
So the lead was down to 8 points. It's now at 16, and I'm assuming that includes the 5 points which Loeb will have won for the Continental Traction Challenge. So championship still up for grabs. This one's going to go down to the wire at round 5, the Jurassic X Prix.
The Island X Prix is done. Next, we head to the UK for the Jurassic X Prix, where we will highlight massive loss of biodiversity. Who will be our champions?
An amazing fight all weekend long here in Sardinia for round 4. It looked like it was advantage X44, but it all went wrong in the final, and it's 3 wins from 4 events for RXR. Can they take the title, or can X44 fight back? We'll find out at the final round of the season, the Jurassic X Prix. We'll see you then.
An unstoppable inferno burns within us. Take this fight to a new battleground. The Island.
She's not dropped it, she's spun it, she rolls! Cristina Gutierrez is off! She's into the trees! It's one of the biggest accidents of the season! X44 are out. No! Broken steering!
RXR win the Island X Prix.